Another way to save your PowerPoint that you have added annotations and narrations to is to save it as an actual video file or an MP4. This MP4 can then be uploaded to YouTube, and when you upload your video to YouTube, that generates a unique YouTube website address for your video, which you can then paste into OneNote, or you can attach and play in Edmodo. The nice thing about that is because your video is hosted outside of OneNote, it's not going to take up any space in your notebook. And YouTube videos very often will embed in a lot of digital curriculum resources such as OneNote or Edmodo, and that means they'll play right within the confines of those programs and won't jump the students outside into YouTube where they can get a little lost in YouTube land. So to do this, it's pretty simple. First thing you're going to do after you've added all of your narrations and your annotations is, of course, save this as a PowerPoint. But then what you're going to do is you're going to export this as a video. So by going to File and then Export, you'll see an option that says Create a Video. What you're going to do is, the default is usually a full-size video, which is a very large file size. We don't really need it for this specific purpose, so I would suggest sticking with the standard size. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click Create Video. And that's going to ask you, where do you want to save this? Now, normally I don't recommend saving to the desktop, but for this purposes, because we're going to be uploading this video to YouTube anyway, we can temporarily just save it to the desktop for quick access. So I'm going to click on Desktop, and I actually just created a folder on my desktop for all the PowerPoint MP4s that I might be creating using this program. So I'm going to click in there, and I'm going to name this my lesson show, and I'm just going to click Save. Now it's a little bit cut off on my screen, but towards the bottom of PowerPoint you will see a little progress bar that says Creating Video Lesson. And the progress bar will go very fast or very quickly. It really depends on how much content is in this particular PowerPoint. If there's a lot of images and there's a lot of narration, it could take up to a minute. But once it's done, it's going to then save this file as a video file and put it into that folder. So you can see here now, here's the progress of this video being exported as a video file. So now once it's done, I'm actually going to go over to the desktop just so you can see where that video file is and what it looks like before you even upload it into YouTube. So here's that folder on the desktop that I had created, and this is where I exported my PowerPoint video to. So you can see here it says Lesson Show. So if I were to just open this right here as is, it would open in a video program on my computer and I will be able to view it. However, it is not suggested that you give the students access to an MP4 in a particular program, because that's a very large file. It's a very large video file, and we want somebody else to host this so that it doesn't take up space on our end. So this is where the second part of this is, where we're going to upload this to YouTube. Now, creating your own YouTube channel is very simple. It's not as scary as it sounds at all. If you have an existing Gmail account, you're going to be logging into YouTube with a Gmail account. If you don't have one, you will have to create one just for the purposes of this. Google owns YouTube, so Gmail accounts are required in order to actually upload to it. So when you go to YouTube, you'll see on the upper right-hand side a button that says Sign In. And this is going to prompt you to log in with your Google account, your Gmail account. If you do not have one, you can go through the process of creating one. If you do have one, all you need to do is log into it, which I'm going to do now. Once you successfully logged into YouTube or created your account, you'll know that you're in because you'll have an icon here, whether it's a picture or just your initials. You'll know you are logged in because the sign-in button won't be here anymore. So now to upload that exported video that we did from PowerPoint, what you're going to do is you're going to click on this little camera icon and you're going to click Upload Video. Now, you're going to see when we upload this video, you're going to have some choices, and the most important choice to remember is you don't have to make your video public to the whole world. There's an option called Unlisted, which I'm going to show you. So you're going to be asked here to select the file you want to upload. So that's the MP4, that video file we just exported from PowerPoint. And we're going to click on that, and I'm going to go to my desktop, which is where I have that folder, because this is only temporary. Here's that file that I exported as a movie file, an MP4, and I'm going to click Open. This usually doesn't take much time at all, especially if your video is not that long. So the only required things that you really have to put in is a title, so whatever this lesson is about. You You don't have to put in a description, but you can if you want to. When you scroll through here, you really don't have to do anything. The one thing they will make you fill out is this video made for kids? Is it not? In general, you can include, yes, it is made for kids. This just has to do with student privacy laws and protection laws, so they're required to ask this. So you can put, yes, it's made for kids. And then you're going to click on Next. You don't have to do anything on this video element screen. We can leave this. We click Next. So here's the area where you can decide how you want to make this available. If you want this to be available to the public, which means anybody who puts in a keyword that matches something in the title of your video, it might show up. If you don't want this to be searchable, meaning you just want this video for your students and you don't want anybody else who uses YouTube to be able to find it, what I would suggest is that you choose Unlisted. And unlisted means anyone with the video link can see your video. So only people who you give that link to are going to be able to find it. It will not be searchable in YouTube. There is a private option, and it says only you and people you can choose to see your video. The only issue with this is if you choose private, the person who gets the link to your video, meaning the students, would be prompted to log into YouTube. And we don't want that because we don't want students to have to log in to view it because they may not have email accounts to do so. So we're going to leave this as unlisted, and then what we're going to do is hit Save. The processing of this is usually not that long, but again, it depends on the size of your video. Mine has already been processed. You can see here it already generated a unique YouTube link to this. So if I click on this, my video is now on YouTube and it is viewed as an unlisted. So you can see here it is unlisted, not be searchable. So now that my video is on YouTube, I can grab this URL. This is the website address for my YouTube video. And again, nobody's going to find it unless I actually give them this URL. I can copy this, and depending on what your curriculum digital resource is that you use, let's say, for example, you use OneNote, you can now go into a OneNote page. You can paste that link. Your YouTube video shows up here. It is playable within here. You could distribute this if you want. Because this video is housed elsewhere, it's not housed in OneNote. It is housed on YouTube. It is not taking up virtually any space in OneNote, so you don't have to worry about running into issues in terms of space. And that's really about it. It's just another option that you can use in order to get your students to view your digital lessons and not take up space in OneNote or Edmodo.